Hi everyone, welcome to part 4 of my into-out series where I'll be talking about the follow-through and some concepts or positions that will help you swing it into out. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and if you are visiting my channel for the first time, please subscribe to see more golf-related content. So for the follow-through, I'll be talking about 3 main movements. The first will be about the flexion or extension of the body. The second is going to be about the hand path or arm position. And the third is going to be about your body rotation. Now, these movements are very key in a player's ability to swing it more degrees into out. And also getting a better understanding of these positions may help you make a lot of positive changes to your swing. So for those of you who don't know what flexion or extension is, it's basically the motion of you bending forward, which is flexion, or backwards, which is extension. Now, since we're talking about the follow-through, there are certain things or certain tendencies a player has when they're in a more flexed forward position in the follow-through versus a more extended position in the follow-through. And the players that tend to swing it the most degrees from over and across the golf ball tend to be in the most flexed forward position after they hit the ball in the follow-through. And players who are able to swing more degrees on an into-out path demonstrate a lot more extension in their hip and in their upper bodies through impact. So if you think back to earlier parts in this series, I talked about the importance of never getting your upper body center ahead of your lower body center. Now, whenever you feel like you're in a more flexed position in the follow-through, your tendency will always be to get your upper body ahead of your hip. Okay, and we know that when that happens, it's going to encourage everything to move over and across the golf ball to the left. So whenever I see a player demonstrate a more, flexed forward position, a more bent forward position in the follow-through, it always starts with how they're distributing their weight across their feet in the downswing. When this kind of player comes down from the top, what I see is that they struggle to move the majority of their weight into their lead side. And what actually happens is that as they get closer into impact, they start to shift their weight more into their trail foot instead. When their weight moves more into the trail foot, what happens is that their pelvis actually starts to move more away from the target, or kind of backwards. And if their hips go backwards and more away from the target as they continue to turn, then the upper body is going to get ahead of the pelvis or the center of the hip. And that's why you see players kind of in this more flexed forward position. So to get yourself out of a flexed forward position and more into an extended position, what you'll have to focus on or train yourself to do is you have to encourage your weight to move more into your lead side, and everything else moves more towards the target except for your head. Okay? So if you can keep your head relatively in the same place as everything else moves more into the target, then as you swing through, it's going to encourage your hips to kind of tuck more underneath you, your belt is going to point higher, and your chest is going to point higher. So if you did this little experiment by yourself, you can really see why this flexion or extension movement encourages a player to swing it more across or more into out. So if you were to actually physically try and swing the club with your chest down or your body more bent forward, you'll definitely feel as though it's much easier to swing left and across your body than it is when you get in a more extended position. You'll see that if you push your hip forward, your weight forward, your chest up and your belt up, it makes it much more difficult for you to feel as though you can swing it as left as someone that may be flexing forward like this. You can see there's a lot more range of motion for you to swing it more across your body. So if you can learn to kind of extend your body back more through the hitting area and into the follow through, then it's going to make it much easier or encourage you to swing it more degrees on an into-out path. So a very simple drill that you guys can do at home to get a sense of this movement is you can place the lead side of your face against a door frame, okay, and you can leave a little bit of space between the door frame and your body so that you have some room for your arms to swing. But with your arms hanging down, when you make your backswing, as you come down into your impact position or your follow through, what you want to do is you want to keep your head behind the door frame, but you want to move everything else to the left of the door frame. So your weight, your whole entire hip, right? Your entire body is left, but your head is going to remain behind that door frame. So if you can do that, that's gonna give you a sense and feel of how to bend your body just so you can get in a more extended position. And if you can do that, you'll definitely be able to swing it more degrees into out. So for the second topic of this video, I'm going to talk to you guys about rotation next. And I'm going to leave hand path and arm position last, just because I think that way it's better for me to kind of tie everything together and just show you how everything is related. So basically, when it comes to rotation, the players that demonstrate the most out to in swing path will always have the most amount of hip rotation and chest rotation or upper body rotation in their follow through, compared to someone that would swing it more degrees on an in to out path. They would tend to be a little bit more closed with both the chest and the hips. Now, I'm not saying that you have to hit the ball with your body totally closed. We definitely need rotation in the follow through. That's very, very important. But everything can be overdone. So everything has to be done like up to a certain point. So when a player over rotates, okay, like I was mentioning in previous parts, when they rotate too excessively from the top, right, they get their upper body ahead of their hip. And then when that happens, like I was explaining in the first topic of today's video, the chest gets in front of the hip and they're going to be in a more flex forward position. So that's going to encourage everything to kind of swing more left and across their bodies and get your swing path more degrees out to in. So if a player demonstrates a lot slower rate of rotation and they kind of slow down the rotation and then follow through with their bodies a bit more closed, then it's going to be easier for their hands and arms to kind of swing out to the right. Now, if you were to do a bit of an experiment, if you really open up your chest and your hips, you'll see that it's very easy to swing your arms kind of across and to the left, just because that's where your shoulders and your hips are going to be pointed. They're going to be pointed very, very left and across you. Whereas if you were to close your body and your chest and your hips, then it's very difficult for your hands to kind of move across you. Your arms are basically going to travel in the direction of your shoulders. So if you can stay really, really closed through impact and into the follow through, that'll allow your hands and arms to exit the most out to the right. So if you do feel like you are a player that swings it over and across the golf ball with a lot of rotation in the follow through, then I encourage you to try and feel as though like your chest and your belt stay pointed directly in front of you for as long as you can into your follow through. If you can keep your body lines closed for a longer period of time in the downswing or even into the follow through, then your arms will have to swing more out to the right just because that's where your shoulders and body is pointed. If you open up your body, then you're allowing your hands or giving your hands a lot more mobility or range of motion to swing across and to the left. Okay, so controlling the rates of rotation or limiting rotation is going to allow you to definitely swing it more degrees into out. So for the last topic of this video, I'm going to be talking about the direction of your hands and also the position of your arms, and more specifically, your lead arm. So if your goal is to swing the club more degrees on an in-to-out path, you have to avoid a very low and left exit with your hands in the follow-through. So from the face-on view, it's going to look as though you're kind of pulling your arms and hands across your chest post-impact and into the follow-through like that, okay? And then from the side view, when you do that, you'll notice that you have a very, very large bend in the lead arm, and it may look like that chicken wing that you've heard so much about. So whenever you pull your arms and hands across you, you also keep your handle very, very close to your side. And if you keep the handle very close to you, that's also going to cause a wide gap between the elbows. It's going to cause your arms to bend very, very quickly. Obviously, with a player that swings it more degrees into out, you'll see that their hands and club exit more away from them and out to the right. Their arms are a lot more extended, okay? The handle of the club is a lot more away from their bodies, okay? The handle doesn't stay very close to them. It's very wide in a way, okay? And what I want you to notice is the lead arm. If I show you from this angle, when my hands go left and across my body, you can see that my lead arm is very, very bent. The palm of my lead hand is down. Whereas with a player that swings it more into out, with their hands moving more away from them and out to the right, you can notice that my hands or my arms are a lot straighter. The handle of the club is a lot further away from my body. Okay, and you'll see that my lead arm is a lot more supinated. Okay, so that means that my lead arm is just kind of turning, or basically you're getting the bicep of the arm to kind of turn more up towards the sky. Whereas when you swing it left and around you, right, my bicep is pointed more towards the ground, and so is my palm. Okay, so out to the right with my lead palm up, bicep up, whereas when you swing it across, your biceps down, palm is down. So now that you understand the key positions of how your lead arm should be positioned and the direction that your hand should be traveling in the follow through to promote more of an in-to-out path, I highly recommend working on the first two topics first, because that'll make maneuvering your arms and hands much easier to do. Ensuring that you're maneuvering your body correctly first is very important, because that's what's actually going to influence the movement of your arms and your hands. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope these ideas have given you some more clarity on what your issues might be. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below, and be sure to follow me on my Instagram at Jonathan K. Moss, where you can inquire about online lessons. I will also leave a link to my website in the description box below, where you can check out all the details. See you guys on the next video.